Continue lang natin yung ating sinasagutan ng mga problems. A vessel of 0.058 cubic meter capacity is well insulated, is divided equally by rigid conducting diaphragm. So initially, both halves contain air at pressure of 137.8 kilopascal and 413.4 kilopascal and a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and 177 degrees Celsius respectively. What is the increase of entropy of the system in kilojoule per degree Celsius? Itong hinahanap sa atin, increase in entropy. So, to solve this problem, we need first to draw yung ating system, diba? Ano bang meron dun sa system natin? So, basically, meron tayo dito vessel. And that vessel is divided and insulated, diba? Into using yung conducting diaphragm. Ito yung vessel natin. Then, ito yung conducting diaphragm. Nilagyan natin ng valve sa gitna. So, both volumes ay equally divided. So, kung meron siyang 0.058 na volume sa total, then kung equally divided yan, so i-divide lang natin ang yung volume ng lupa. Ngayon, ang hinahanap din sa problem, increase of entropy of the whole system. To determine the increase of entropy of the whole system, we need to account for both changes in entropy. This change in entropy sa A plus change of entropy sa B. Ngayon, sara na yung ating change of entropy sa A. Ano yung A natin? A is basically yung unang division natin. Then yung B yun yung pangalawang division. So ngayon, we will also consider from the problem, since binanggit niya, rigid yung ating diaphragm. Then meron tayong rigid vessel. So ibig sabihin, constant yung volume na i-consider natin. And kung constant yung volume, naghanap tayo ng delta S. Yung formula ng delta S natin will be MCPLN, final temperature over initial temperature. So for A, that is EA ang gagamitin sa initial. Ngayon, sir, paano makuha yung change of entropy ng B natin? That is basically the same, but the initial temperature is different. That is TV. So, pinagkaiba lang ng dalawa para makompute natin yung delta S is yung kanyang initial temperature. So, ngayon, kunin muna natin yung mga initial temperature ng system. So, yung A, consider natin yun yung mga unang given. So that's 27 degrees Celsius. Gawin lang natin absolute. Para di tayo mayroon na compute. So that is plus 273. So gagamitin lang natin yung calculator natin. So bali, plus 273. So press equals, makuha natin yung value ng temperature natin. That's 300 Kelvin. Then another temperature, 177. Gawing absolute. Gagawin natin. Punin din natin yung calculator natin. Then we will press plus 270. Press equals, kuha natin yung another temperature para sa B. That's 450 Kelvin. So meron na tayong dalawang temperature sir. Pag tinignan mo yung formula, CV is constant, lalo na this is air. Yung T2, wala pa tayo nito. Yung temperature A at temperature B, and yung dalawang initial temperature, meron na tayo. So, ang kulang natin ay yung mass o yung final temperature. So, solve muna natin yung mass. So, paano natin solve yung mass? So, yung problem natin, area yung nasa loob. Area yung nasa loob. Meron kang pressure, meron kang temperature, meron ka rin volume. So, paano makuha yung mass? So, ideal gas, meron kang pressure, volume, temperature, then mass is solved by paborito mo. Yung TB equals MRT. Tunayin muna natin yung kay A. So A, yung pressure niya, 137.8 kilopascal times yung volume ng A. So volume ng A is yung buong system. But since yung A is yung kabilang side lang, yung other half, then i-divide natin ito ng 2. Kasi tig-kalahati sila. So yun yung kalahati ng 12 volt. 0.058 over 2 cubic meter equals yung mass ng A, yung hanapin natin, times yung R natin ng air, 0.287 times yung temperature ng A, which is what we absorb, 300 Kelvin. Okay, so kukumpitin natin yung mass ng A natin dito. So, take note of the units lang. Dapat consistent na ganyan yung units natin. So basically, yung kilopascal per kilopascal cubic meter, that's kilojoule. That will cancel out yung kilojoule dito sa na side. Yung Kelvin naman, meron tayong Kelvin dun sa temperature. Kung matitirang unit lang dito ay kilograms. Pag pinindot yung shift solve, kuha natin yung value ng mass, that is 0.0464. Yan yung mass ng A natin. So sir, tapos na ba yan? Sige, balikan na natin equation. Hindi pa. Kasi ang ginakuha pa lang natin ay mass ng A. Kukunin pa natin yung mass ng B. Paano naman kukunin yun, sir? Similarly, ganun pa rin. PV-MRT pa rin. Paborito mo. Ano naman yung pressure ng B? So, yung A, yung nauna. So, yung pangalawa, most likely yung gagawin natin. That is 413.4 kilopascal. So, yung volume, pareho pa rin sa A, since equally divided naman yan. So, yung total volume, 0.058 divided by 2 equals mass ng B times R ng A, 0.287 times yung temperature, 450. Yun na complete natin. So, balikan ulit natin yung calculator natin. Then we solve for mass ng B. So, 413.4. So, basically, yung units na to, pareho lang din dun sa A. So, meaning, ang matitira lang sa atin dapat dito, yung kilograms. So, pag mga ganitong klase ng problem yung na-encounter nyo sa board exam, try to solve muna yung mga mabibilis ma-solve bago nyo i-solve yung ganito kakatang. Ito kasi, ang dami pa natin kailangan solve para lang makuha natin yung hinahanap ng answer na. Okay, so yung makuha natin is 0.09283. Kasi narado na natin ito. So, meron na tayong mass ng A, mass ng B, temperature ng A, temperature ng B. Kulang na lang natin ay yung temperature 2. So, how are we going to solve yung temperature 2 natin sa? Okay, so let us proceed to another slide. Dahil di na kasya. Pag-solve ng T2. Okay, so dito, ang gagawin natin, kung meron tayong temperature ng dalawa, mass na dalawa, so ito yung mass, yung temperature, ito yun. Ang kulang mo na lang, temperature 2. So, to solve temperature 2, since ang ginawa natin dito, we open this diaphragm. So, mangyari pag binuksan mo yung bulb na to, yung mainit na, or rather yung malamig na portion, kasi itong kabilang ay mainit, yung heat ay dadaloy from hotter temperature to cold temperature. So, magkakaroon ng thermal equilibrium. And, so, kung thermal equilibrium sila, then we can say that yung heat na mag-i-interact between the two systems should be equal. So what we mean by that is ganito. And so yung heat na meron kay A ay equivalent sa negative na heat ng B. So saan ba't naging positive yung A tas negative? And so pag titignan mo yung temperature ng A, 250, mas mababa siya. Titignan mo naman temperature ni B, mas mataas siya. Ang ibig sabihin nun, pag binuksan mo yung bulb dito, at nagkaroon ng heat transfer between the two systems, yung mas mataas sa temperature, yan yung magbibigay ng heat. Yung mas mababang temperature, which is ito, yun yung magtatanggap ng init. So this means, heat added sa A kasi mas mababa yung temperature niya, equivalent sa heat rejected sa B kasi mas mataas yung temperature. And from sensible heat, constant volume, yung heat natin is mCV delta T. So, M mass ng A, CV, times temperature 2 minus temperature ng A equals negative mass ng B, CV, temperature 2 minus temperature B. However, yung CV, pwede mo yung i-cancel out dito. Also, yung mass natin is already been found. Similarly, ganun din yung temperature A tsaka B. So, isa-substitute mo lang dyan. And shift solve na natin yung values natin. So, cancel out yung kilograms, Kelvin na matitira sa atin. Okay, so, pindutin lang natin yung makukuha nating temperature 2. Yun ang kailangan natin. Bali, 0.0464 times T2 minus 300 is equivalent sa negative ng 0.09283. Then, ito times natin to sa x minus 1. So, shift solve lang natin yan. And, so, press equals. Makukuha natin yung value, temperature 2 being equivalent. So, sabihin na natin, isarado na natin ito. So, meron na tayong temperature 2. Kung meron ka ng temperature 2, yun na yung kailangan natin para masolve na yung problem natin. Kasi meron na tayong mas A, mas nung B, saka yung temperature A, syempre, temperature B. So, direct sum. So, entropy increase ng system is entropy ng A, mass ng A, CV, ln T2 over TA, plus yung ating, by the way, itong temperature ng A natin, that is not 250. That should be 300 Kelvin. And so, baka man ito, that should be 300 Kelvin. Anyway, plus lang natin dun sa entropy ng B. So, mass ng B, CV, ln T2 over D ng B. So, we will use that. Kakalculate lang natin sa calculator. So, magka-cancel out yung kilogram. So, kilojoule per Kelvin yung makikita natin yung mass. So, pwede na natin pindutin. Finally, para makuha na natin. Ang dami nating pinindot. Tapos, ang magiging points lang nito ay 1 point. So, ganun nga. Pag nakita nyo na ganyan kakaba yung problem, minsan din nga worth it yan. Kung sakaling yan yung uunahin mo. Ihuli nyo lagi yung mga ganitong klase na problem. Kung titignan nyo, ang daming steps na ginawa. 3 steps before we can finally solve the problem today. At ito pa yung dinaanan natin solving solution para lang ma-solve. And so, press equals. Kumukuha na natin yung sagot. And from the choices, makikita natin yung letter C. So, paano natin makikita sa calculator na kapareho ng letter C? Pindutin yung shift, tapos itong N. Another one. So, 0.001728. So, pag na-round up, 0.00173. So, therefore, yan yung ating answer, yung letter C. Sige, so another problem sa ating power industrial plant. So, basahin ko lang. Steam enters a throttling calorimeter at a pressure of 1.03 megapascal. Calorimeter downstream pressure and temperature are respectively 0.1 and 125 degrees Celsius. It is the percentage moisture of the supply steam. So, naghanap ng percentage moisture. So, given na tayo ng properties ng steam, so wala na kayo alalahan. And, dun sa problem, may binanggit na term, throttling calorimeter. Pag sinabing throttling calorimeter, yan yung ginagamit ng device para mas bukat yung moisture or sometimes yung quality. So, ang meron tayo dyan, kapag may throttling calorimeter, is ito yung steam pipe natin. Then, sa steam pipe, para malaman mo yung quality, ini-installan ng throttling calorimeter. So, madadivide yung steam pipe nyo sa dalawa. Isang 0.1, yun yung inlet, throttling calorimeter. Isang 0.2, yun yung outlet na or exit ng throttling calorimeter. So, in a throttling calorimeter, meron tayong principle. Ano yung principle na yun, sir? It is basically yung constant enthalpy. So, sa isang throttling calorimeter, meron tayong isenthalpic process. And, dun sa problem, meron tayong enthalpy 2. Yun yung paglabas ng throttling calorimeter. 0.1, 125 degrees Celsius. Meron ng enthalpy. Pero yung 0.1, yung pagpasok, meron siyang 1.03 na pressure. So, sa 0.1, yung 1.03 pressure, ang binigay, each G, saka HFG. So most likely yan ay wet mixture. Diba? So kung wet mixture, then we can solve that using H1 equals HF plus X HFG. Yun nga lang, hindi natin ito gagamitin. Kasi quality yung nandyan. X, kailangan ng problem, moisture. So Y yung kailangan natin. Para makuha yung moisture, that is Hg minus Y HFG. Yan yung moisture natin. Ito yung gagamitin para sa wet mixture region pag naghanap ng percent moisture. So, itadirect sa mo ng H1, Hg, that is given, minus Y, yan yung hanapin, HFG given din. Equate mo lang sa H2, which is 2726.6. So, we will simply direct sum yung values na to, then solve for the value of the Y. So, by the way, yung units nito pare-pareho naman. At sila dyan, kilojoule per kilogram. So, therefore, we will be expecting no units dun sa Y natin. Lalo na percent moisture yan. So, pag multiply nyo pa ng 100, expect natin naka-percent na yan pag multiply pa ng 100. Press shift solve. At so, makuha natin yung value ng Y, that is 2.62%. And from the choices, yan yung letter A natin. Sige, so another problem from our power industrial plant. So at atmospheric pressure, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. At the vacuum pressure of 24-inch mercury, the boiling temperature is 142 degrees Fahrenheit. So calculate the boiling temperature when the pressure is increased by 40 psi from atmosphere. Okay, so how do we solve yung boiling temperature natin pag given tayo ng pressure, saka ng temperature, then another pressure plus temperature? So actually, we can solve this by interpolation. But the fastest way of solving yung ganitong problem, pag naghahanap ng boiling temperature at a specified pressure, given ka ng dalawa pang pressure and temperature. Kasi given ka dito ng isang pressure, atmospheric pressure, tsaka temperature. Given ka ng another pressure that's may temperature, may nahanap temperature at a particular pressure. So meron kang pares, pressure, temperature. Kasi nahanap mo lang yung temperature ng isang pressure. Yun yung gusto natin sabihin. So pwede nyo interpolate to solve the problem. But we can also solve using calculator technique. Pipinutin lang natin mode T2, mode start, A plus Px. So, sa X, ang ilalagay yung pressure. Sa Y, yung temperature, saturation. So, take note na lahat ng ilalagay nyo dito should be absolute. Ibig sabihin, hindi kayo pwede maglagay dyan ng gauge pressure nor vacuum pressure. Diba? Yan. So, yung unang pressure is 1 atm. Pero PSI yung gagamitan since PSI din yung isang unit. Diba? So, meron tayong 14.7 PSI. Then, yung corresponding temperature nun ay 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So, similarly, yung vacuum pressure, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yan. Kailangan naka-absolute. So, ang absolute pressure ng vacuum pressure is atmospheric. 14.7 minus yung corresponding vacuum pressure, that's 24. But that is inch mercury. So, i-convert ng PSI. So, times 14.7 divided by 29.92. So, this will cancel out inch mercury. Natitira PSI. And so, pag sinolve natin yan, so, we will check kung 2.9086 pa yung lalabas. And, so, by the way, yung units na ito ay PSI pa rin. Diba? Since nag-cancel out tayo ng inch mercury. So, pag prenas natin equals, so tama naman 2.9086. So, yung corresponding pressure, temperature nito is yung 142 degrees Fahrenheit. So, tama lang ito. So, ngayon, paano natin sa resolve yung boiling pressure when the pressure or boiling temperature when the pressure is increased by 40 psi from atmospheric. So, kailangan mo yung boiling temperature which is yung nasa Y. Kung gagamitin natin yung y-hat. That is apps 5.5, di ba? So, ang gagawin natin, kunin natin yung pressure. That is 40 psi per atmospheric. Ibig sabihin, magdadagdag tayo, so increase ng 40 psi sa atmospheric. That is 14.7 plus 40. O y-hat. Okay, so, pindutin lang natin sa calculator. So, mode 3.2. So, by the way, pwedeng si calculator na bahala mag-compute na itong second row natin. So, just perform lang yung nakalagay na solution. So, always take note of the units para hindi kayo mahirapan to basically simplify out lahat ng calculation. So, just remember na pag mali yung units, yung problem natin, magkakapalid din tayo ng so, it is always advised to remember how to use yung mga units natin, how to properly use them. So, mode that should be 8 and 5. Okay, so, palitan natin. That should be mode 8.5 or other apps 8.5. And so, apps 8.5 siya. So, press lang natin equals. So, makuha natin yung 449.46 degree Fahrenheit. And basically, yan yung letter A natin. 449.42. Those as answer pa. And sige, so another problem sa ating power industrial plant. Compute the approximate value of temperature of water having enthalpy of 208 BTU per pound. So, naghanap ng temperature given ang enthalpy. So, sa board exam, kung hindi given ang steam table, we can actually approximate yung mga enthalpy natin kung meron kang temperature. So, yung way to solve that is enthalpy equals C times change in temperature. Wherein change in temperature is temperature minus reference temperature. Kapag SI, yan ay 0. Kapag English, yan ay 32. Anyway, so since doon sa choices, naka-Celsius tayo, we will be using yung reference temperature ng SI. 0 yan, para mas mabilis. So, substitute lang natin. Enthalpy, 208 BTU per pound equals SI ng specific heat ng water, that's 4.187 kilojoule per kilogram degree Celsius times yung temperature minus 0. Pero take note, hindi nyo pa pwedeng i-shift solve to kasi yung units natin magkaiba. So, we need to convert yung units natin. So, convert natin kilojoule per kilogram at BTU per pound. So, pwede nyong i-convert to ng isa-isa. Halimbawa, BTU, 1.055 kilojoule. Yung pounds naman, tsaka kilogram. 1 kilogram, 2.205 pounds. Pwede yun. But, may mas madaling way convert those two. That is to use yung latent heat of vaporization ng water. Ang LB ng water is 970.3 BTU per pound. Pag SI, 2257 kilojoule per kilogram. This will make yung kilojoule per kilogram natin sa kanan cancel out. Pati yung BTU per pound natin sa kaliwa cancel out. So, matitirang unit, degree Celsius na. Sige, so ganun yung gagawin natin. Pindutin lang natin yan sa calculator natin. Lagay na lang dito, shift solve. So kung na-master nyo yung units nyo, yung pag manipula sa mga units, then you can have a much more or have a better, diba, faster way of solving yung problem. Shift solve lang natin. So press equals, so makuha nating value is 11.55 degrees Celsius. And that is yung ating letter E. Okay, so another problem sa ating power industrial plant. What pressure is column of water 100 centimeters high equivalent to. So naghanap ng pressure given ka ng height ng water. So that's what we call the pressure head, di ba? So to determine the pressure, given ka ng pressure head, gagawin mo lang, multiply mo lang yung gamma sa pressure head sa H. Ngayon, kung hindi tayo sanay sa gamma, we can also use yung rho GH, di ba? Yung density times gravity times H. Walang problema to. Either solution will. However, we'll be using this in our solution since mas mabilis yan, di ba? Yun lang naman yan. So, ang gagawin, gamma ng water, that is equivalent to 9810, that's Newton per cubic meter, times yung height natin na 100 cm. Then, i-convert lang natin yung 100 cm into meters para mag-cancel out yung 1 meter natin. So, divide by 100 cm, 1 meter, makukuha natin Newton per square meter. And ang Newton per square meter is basically Pascal. Kung units naman natin, naka-Newton per square meter, so wala pala tayong problema. So, kukompute lang natin yan. Then, we will now have yung ating and pressure. So, press equals, and so makuha natin 9,810 Newton per square meter. From the choices, ang closest value natin na meron ay yung letter B.